Let me first apologize by saying I'm sorry that I haven't gotten over to the comments for the last game. I take pride in that or whatever because I'm not like a super big channel, so like I'm able to have conversations with y'all. So I apologize for not getting to those. I'm gonna get to them. My personal life is in fucking shambles because it's me, and then my life is always shit. So I apologize. I'm going through some shit. I will get to those comments. I'm really, really, really fucking sorry. I apologize. For the Atlanta Dream people who are wondering where's the coverage of the shit, again, my personal life is in the fucking toilet and I'm like mentally dying. I apologize. I will get to it eventually. Let's start the video. They lost to Milwaukee, and you know, I'll end the somber tone here and get over to the jokes. What do the Atlanta Dream and the Brooklyn Nets have in common? They don't have a fucking coach. Like, this shit is everything I said in my last Nets video. You can just copy and paste and put it in this one. Can we talk about how there were no adjustments whatsoever on either side of the goddamn ball? Now, again, I'm not going to like run down everything I said in the last video because honestly, you could just go watch that video because the same shit applies. Again, the whole not having James Harden to hold this shit together, I've already explained why that's important. And against top tier talent, which I mean, I don't really take Milwaukee super seriously, but alleged top tier talent, like the magic of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, where the matchup is not in our favor, is not going to be enough. That shit is just not enough. You need someone out there to bridge the gap. And again, that doesn't have to just be a James Harden. That could be a Spencer Dinwiddie. That could have been a Karis LeVert. You need someone else out there that's going to try to control the pace a little bit. Shout out to Mike James for trying. But Kyrie, as we know, is a shooting guard at this point, and you know it is what it is with him. He played great offensively, but again, you need someone to hold this shit together. And I only put an emphasis on that because that's how our team is structured, because our coach has no idea what the fuck he's doing. And I don't want to make the same video twice, but it's the same shit. There was no adjustment whatsoever. The only difference is we got Claxton back, and Claxton was actually on Giannis like 5 times in the whole fucking game. Now, obviously, I thought he was very successful because that's Claxton. Bruce Brown only played like 5 minutes. But again, I feel like I would just be repeating myself if I went down the list of all the fucking discrepancies that I have with Steve Nash. Now, I know a lot of you, because I do read the comments, I just haven't responded yet. Because again, it's a conversation. I don't just want to be on there like, LOL, yeah, man, you know. It's a conversation. I like to talk to y'all. So I've read all of your comments. I just haven't had a chance to respond yet. So I've seen the temperature. I've seen how y'all guys feel about Steve Nash and shit like that. And it's just like the whole cop-out of he's a first-year coach. I'm not here for that. The motherfucker is not above criticism because he's a first-year coach. If you're ass, you're ass. Doesn't matter if it's your first time doing some shit. If you suck at something, you suck at something. Now, again, I stand by seeding doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't fucking matter. Their record is so fucking high up, it doesn't, hell, they could be in the play-in tournament, and it doesn't fucking matter. Again, the same energy that people have for the Lakers and the Clippers, it should apply to the fucking Brooklyn Nets. Seeding does not fucking matter. It doesn't matter where they are in there. We have Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Joe Harris. Like, it does not fucking matter what the seeding is. As long as these motherfuckers are healthy, I don't give a fuck who we have to run through. They're not stopping all of them. Now, if a motherfucker is injured like Harden, then okay, I can see how it'll be a long day at the office. But if James Harden is healthy, and God have mercy if we get Spencer Dinwiddie back, them niggas will be fine. So I'm not stressed out over fucking seeding. I know y'all are. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck about a tiebreaker. The shit that frustrates me is the amount of stress and meaningless stress that we're putting on the fucking players, that we're putting on a Kevin Durant, that we're putting on a Kyrie Irving, that we're putting on a Blake Griffin, that we're putting on a DeAndre Jordan. The unnecessary stress that we're putting on their bodies. To fucking lose? Now, if they like eked out a fucking win, I get on here screaming a dub is a dub. But to fucking lose and you got them playing these fucking hyper ass minutes to fucking lose? I don't understand that shit. I don't fucking understand that shit. But that's just me. Again, I'm not upset that they lost. I don't give a shit. Fast forward over to the playoffs. We'll be fine. Can't wait for James Harden and Spencer Dinwiddie to come back. And Chioza too, technically. Like, I'm not tripping, even though Chioza probably ain't coming back. But like, I'm not tripping off that shit. My issue is the reoccurring story of when there's no Harden and there's no Spencer Dinwiddie, when we don't have someone that's an actual point guard running the team to be the stand-in fucking coach, we're relying on Steve Nash. Now, if Steve Nash suited up and was out there playing as a player coach, then I wouldn't give a shit. We'd be fine. But that motherfucker is just on the sidelines, hands on his hips, not giving a shit. That's the shit that worries me. That's the shit that bothers me. Steve Nash don't have to fucking sit through the fucking onslaught of fucking toxic ass abuse that we receive from every fan base on the fucking internet. He don't have to sift through that. We have to go through that shit. And God, it would sure be a lot easier to just fucking tell these motherfuckers, well, Kyrie and KD didn't even play, so who gives a shit? Be a lot easier to do that. It'd be a whole lot easier to fucking do that. And again, it's simple fixes. If you see Claxton is shutting this nigga down, let that motherfucker play. We know Bruce Brown is capable of this type of shit. Let that motherfucker play. Someone tell me, because I must have missed it. Did Alize Johnson play? Is he out or something? Because maybe I just fucking missed it. Again, I'm not upset that we lost. I don't care. Fast forward to the playoffs. Prettiest of pleases. My issue is I'm sick of watching Steve Nash drive our fucking players into the ground for nothing. And it's not fucking fair that we have to put so much of an emphasis and so much responsibility on fucking point guards. We shouldn't have to do that. Our coach should be competent enough to be able to draw a fucking play. Or hey, let's start with call a timeout when Chris Middleton turns into Kobe. How about that? I'll give you one specific example, and then I'm going to cut the video off because it's just not that fucking serious. I want to go back to crying my eyes out, pretty please. A great example. Like at this point in game 2 of this little mini series, I think it's established Giannis can hit a set shot. Like I don't feel like that's not like, it's not like he's Ben Simmons. Like I think it's established the motherfucker can hit a set shot. So why the hell are you allowing your players to be all the way back here when Giannis is all the way up here hitting a set shot? For motherfuckers who play basketball, when you play like Giannis does, and you don't really have a jump shot to speak of, how you build that jump shot, the first thing, obviously, is free throws. But then after that, it's the set shot. You figure out how to do it. Maybe you're not dipping the ball and coming all the way up. Maybe your shot's too flat or something like that. But it always starts with a set shot. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Why would you give Giannis that? Why would you have his confidence skyrocket after the motherfucker hits 2 threes on us again? Guard him. And if he blows by, you know, it is what it is. But wouldn't you rather him have a blow-by dunk than a fucking three-pointer? Isn't that just basic mathematics? But again, when you don't have James Harden or Spencer Dinwiddie or some type of a real leader out there, no offense to the other players, this is the type of shit that happens. And they're just like, well, let's keep trying and see what fucking happens. Sure, it would be great if we had a fucking coach who would call a timeout and say, hey, that shit ain't working. We tried that shit in game 1. This shit ain't working. But again, we don't have a fucking coach. So I don't know what the fuck I'm expecting in these games. Till Harden comes back, I'm expecting nothing but L's. I gotta be honest with you. Because the schedule's looking rough. We got a lot of fucking back-to-backs and shit. This schedule's looking rough. And if Harden's not coming back, we might fuck around and drop down to the 5th seed or some shit. Fucking Hawks might pass us at some point. Because this is looking rough without a goddamn point guard or a real coach. But again, I don't give a shit. But some of y'all do, so here's your reaction. If it was like my real feelings, I'd get on here and say, Are the playoffs started? No? Okay, and I turn off the fucking camera, but I want to entertain y'all and give y'all reactions and shit like that. So personally, I don't give a shit. Start the playoffs, but just to have something to say to post a video, fuck Steve Nash. Part 2. There you go. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go back to crying. Hey.